Welcome to Deep Quotes. This is the complete collection of our Albert Einstein Quotes series, bringing together his most profound reflections on life, imagination, the universe, and the human spirit. Let's revisit the wisdom of a mind that reshaped the way we see reality. Weak people revenge, strong people forgive, intelligent people ignore. We are slowed down sound and light waves, a walking bundle of frequencies tuned into the cosmos. We are souls dressed up in sacred biochemical garments, and our bodies are the instruments through which our souls play their music. The difference between stupidity and genius is that genius has its limits. Everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything. We can't solve today's problems with the mentality that created them. The only thing more dangerous than ignorance is arrogance. Information is not knowledge. The only source of knowledge is experience. You need experience to gain wisdom. Failure is success in progress. Don't listen to the person who has the answers. Listen to the person who has the questions. Insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Everything that exists in your life does so because of two things: something you did or something you didn't do. The more I study science, the more I believe in God. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Don't listen to their words. Fix your attention on their deeds. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Imagination is the language of the soul. Pay attention to your imagination, and you will discover all you need to be fulfilled. A problem defined is a problem half solved. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Everyone knew it was impossible until a fool who didn't know came along and did it. Be a voice, not an echo. Learn from yesterday. Live for today. Hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning. 3 great forces rule the world: stupidity, fear, and greed. Knowledge and ego are directly related. The less knowledge, the greater the ego. Success comes from curiosity, concentration, perseverance, and self-criticism. Logic can take you from point A to point B. Imagination can take you wherever you want. Just because you believe in something does not mean that it is true. If you want different results, do not do the same things. There is no vaccine against stupidity. Thinking is hard work. That's why so few do it. condemnation before investigation is the highest form of ignorance. In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth. A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. Experience is knowledge. All the rest is information. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. God did not create evil. Just as darkness is the absence of light, evil is the absence of God. What you can't imagine, you can't discover. A ship is always safe at the shore, but that is not what it is built for. Persistence is the most powerful force on earth. It can move mountains. Creativity is intelligence having fun. Don't wait for miracles. Your whole life is a miracle. Genius is making complex ideas simple, not making simple ideas complex. There comes a point in your life when you need to stop reading other people's books and write your own. The height of stupidity is most clearly demonstrated by the individual who ridicules something he knows nothing about. Be a loner. That gives you time to wonder, to search for the truth. Have holy curiosity. Make your life worth living. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. The leader is one who, out of the clutter, brings simplicity, out of discord, harmony, and out of difficulty, opportunity. Do not grow old, no matter how long you live. Never cease to stand like curious children before the great mystery into which we were born. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. Men marry women with the hope they will never change. Women marry men with the hope they will change. Invariably, they are both disappointed. Great spirits have always encountered opposition from mediocre minds. The mediocre mind is incapable of understanding the man who refuses to bow blindly to conventional prejudices and chooses instead to express his opinions courageously and honestly. We cannot get to where we dream of being tomorrow unless we change our thinking today. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or objects. Nothing in the world makes people so afraid as the influence of independent-minded people. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. The value of a college education is not the learning of many facts, but the training of the mind to think. I believe we are here to do good. It is the responsibility of every human being to aspire to do something worthwhile, to make the world a better place than the one we found. Our lives will be measured by what we do for others. I don't need to know everything. I just need to know where to find it when I need it. I am neither especially clever nor especially gifted. I am only very, very curious. Live life to the fullest. You have to color outside the lines once in a while if you want to make your life a masterpiece. Laugh some every day. Keep growing. Keep dreaming. Keep following your heart. The important thing is not to stop questioning. When you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, it seems like 2 minutes. When you sit on a hot stove for 2 minutes, it seems like 2 hours. That's relativity. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. I must be willing to give up what I am in order to become what I will be. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. You never fail until you stop trying. Only 2 things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the former. Be kind to people who are different from you. Creativity is seeing what others see and thinking what no one else has ever thought. Earth is the insane asylum of the universe. Concerning matter, we have been all wrong. What we have called matter is energy, whose vibration has been so lowered as to be perceptible to the senses. There is no matter. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. You cannot solve current problems with current thinking. Current problems are the result of current thinking. You can't use an old map to explore a new world. Never underestimate your own ignorance. Intelligence is not the ability to store information, but to know where to find it. I think 99 times and find nothing. I stop thinking, swim in the silence, and the truth comes to me. Once you stop learning, you start dying. Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work. Most people see what is and never see what can be. When I have 1 week to solve a seemingly impossible problem, I spend 6 days defining the problem. Then, the solution becomes obvious. The individual who has experienced solitude will not easily become a victim of mass suggestion. Women always worry about things that men forget. Men always worry about things women remember. Scientists investigate that which already is. Engineers create that which has never been. The ideas that have lighted my way have been kindness, beauty, and truth. Any fool can know. The point is to understand. Live with purpose. Don't let people or things around you get you down. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. Learning is the beginning of wealth. Searching and learning is where the miracle process all begins. The great breakthrough in your life comes when you realize it, that you can learn anything you need. to learn to accomplish any goal that you set for yourself. This means there are no limits on what you can be, have, or do. I'm more interested in the future than in the past, because the future is where I intend to live. The only mistake in life is the lesson not learned. If you can't explain what you are doing to a 9-year-old, then either you still don't understand it very well, or it's not all that worthwhile in the first place. It is entirely possible that behind the perception of our senses, worlds are hidden of which we are unaware. I always found I was in the best of company, alone. The world we have created is a product of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. If we want to change the world, we have to change our thinking. No problem can be solved from the same consciousness that created it. We must learn to see the world anew. Don't let your brain interfere with your heart. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Compassionate people are geniuses in the art of living, more necessary to the dignity, security, and joy of humanity than the discoverers of knowledge. A great thought begins by seeing something differently, with a shift of the mind's eye. Make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler. The horizon of many people is a circle with a radius of 0. They call this their point of view. Outer changes always begin with an inner change of attitude. Know where to find the information and how to use it. That's the secret of success. 3 rules of work. Out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. If the bee disappeared off the surface of the globe, then man would have only 4 years of life left. No more bees, no more pollination, no more plants, no more animals, no more man. I never made one of my discoveries through the process of rational thinking. Time is not at all what it seems. It does not flow in only one direction, and the future exists simultaneously with the past. You have to learn the rules of the game, and then you have to play better than anyone else. Nothing causes more consternation in a group of hypocrites than one honest man. I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. I have only 2 rules which I regard as principles of conduct. The first is, have no rules. The second is, be independent of the opinion of others. I'd rather be an optimist and a fool than a pessimist and right. Many of the things you can count don't count. Many of the things you can't count really count. The woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before. The most precious things in life are not those you get from money. I refuse to engage in an intellectual battle with an unarmed man. Those who have the privilege to know have the duty to act. I cannot accept any concept of God based on the fear of life or the fear of death or blind faith. I cannot prove to you that there is no personal God, but if I were to speak of him, I would be a liar. Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either. The mind that opens to a new idea never returns to its original size. More the knowledge, lesser the ego. Lesser the knowledge, more the ego. Have the courage to take your own thoughts seriously, for they will shape you. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. At least once a day, allow yourself the freedom to think and dream for yourself. The best design is the simplest one that works. The true definition of madness is repeating the same action over and over, hoping for a different result. Those who manage their way into a crisis are not necessarily the right people to manage their way out of a crisis. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. One should never impose one's views on a problem. One should rather study it, and in time, a solution will reveal itself. Failure is only postponed success as long as courage coaches ambition. God reveals himself in the orderly harmony of what exists. Time does not exist. We invented it. There is a driving force more powerful than steam, electricity, and nuclear power: the will. When you trip over love, it is easy to get up. But when you fall in love, it is impossible to stand again. Try not to become a man of success, but a man of value. Look around at how people want to get more out of life than they put in. A man of value will give more than he receives. Be creative, but make sure that what you create is not a curse for mankind. Every day is an opportunity to make a new happy ending. The same thinking that has led you to where you are is not going to lead you to where you want to go. The pursuit of knowledge is more valuable than its possession. The one who walks alone is likely to find himself in places no one has ever been. People like us, who believe in physics, know that the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. The tragedy of life is what dies in the hearts and souls of people while they live. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better. Condemnation without investigation is the height of ignorance. One should not pursue goals that are easily achieved. One must develop an instinct for what one can just barely achieve through one's greatest efforts. Striving for social justice is the most valuable thing to do in life. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong. It is character. I am happy because I want nothing from anyone. I do not care for money. Decorations, titles, or distinctions mean nothing to me. I do not crave praise. The only thing that gives me pleasure, apart from my work, my violin, and my sailboat, is the appreciation of my fellow workers. The basic laws of the universe are simple, but because our senses are limited, we can't grasp them. There is a pattern in creation. The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. If I were to remain silent, I'd be guilty of complicity. There is only one road to human greatness, through the school of hard knocks. To be free means to be independent, not to be influenced by what others think and say. Life is a preparation for the future, and the best preparation for the future is to live as if there were none. Few people are capable of expressing with equanimity opinions which differ from the prejudices of their social environment. Most people are even incapable of forming such opinions. It's not that life has been easy, perfect, or exactly as expected. I just choose to be happy and grateful no matter how it all turns out. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. Past is dead. Future is uncertain. Present is all you have. So eat, drink, and live merry. Our death is not an end if we can live on in our children and the younger generation, for they are us. Our bodies are only wilted leaves on the tree of life. Let every man judge according to his own standards, by what he has himself read, not by what others tell him. Children don't heed the life experiences of their parents, and nations ignore history. Bad lessons always have to be learned anew. Remember today, for it is the beginning of always. Today marks the start of a brave new future filled with all your dreams can hold. Think truly to the future and make those dreams come true. It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. Life isn't worth living unless it is lived for someone else. The true measure of a man is the degree to which he has managed to subjugate his ego. Failing isn't bad when you learn what not to do. It is difficult to say what truth is, but sometimes it is so easy to recognize a falsehood. Necessity is the mother of all invention. We are part of the whole which we call the universe, but it is an optical delusion of our mind that we think we are separate. This separateness is like a prison for us. Our job is to widen the circle of our compassion so we feel connected with all people and situations. Anyone who thinks science is trying to make human life easier or more pleasant is utterly mistaken. Where there is love, there is no imposition. The most beautiful gift of nature is that it gives one pleasure to look around and try to comprehend what we see. A woman is always right, but sometimes confused, or maybe misinformed or rude, or stubborn, or senseless, or unchangeable about her opinions, or even downright stupid at times. But never wrong. She is always right. All that's different about me is that I still ask the questions most people stopped asking at age 5. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. It gives me great pleasure indeed to see the stubbornness of an incorrigible nonconformist warmly acclaimed. Nothing happens unless something moves. Student is not a container you have to fill, but a torch you have to light up. You do not really understand something unless you can explain it to your grandmother. I prefer to make up my own quotes and attribute them to very smart people, so that I can use them to win arguments. Anger dwells only in the bosom of fools. Everyone must become their own person, however frightful that may be. As our circle of knowledge expands, so does the circumference of darkness surrounding it. We must remember that we do not observe nature as it actually exists, but nature exposed to our methods of perception. The theories determine what we can or cannot observe. Reality is an illusion, albeit a persistent one. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. One should respect an honest person, even if he expresses opinions differing from one's own. The development of general ability for independent thinking and judgment should always be placed foremost, not the acquisition of special knowledge. Playfulness is the essential feature of productive thought. The truth of a theory can never be proven, for one never knows if future experience will contradict its conclusions. The only thing we can be certain of in this life is that we can be certain of nothing. The most aggravating thing about the younger generation is that I no longer belong to it. It is better to believe than to disbelieve. In doing, you bring everything to the realm of possibility. Every day, I remind myself that my inner and outer life are based on the labors of other men, living and dead, and that I must exert myself in order to give in the same measure as I have received and am still receiving. When a man is sufficiently motivated, discipline will take care of itself. A life directed chiefly toward the fulfillment of personal desires will sooner or later always lead to bitter disappointment. If one day you have to choose between the world and love, remember this: if you choose the world, you'll be left without love. But if you choose love, with it, you will conquer the world. We act as though comfort and luxury were the chief requirements of life. All that we need to make us happy is something to be enthusiastic about. How many people are trapped in their everyday habits, part numb, part frightened, part indifferent? To have a better life, we must keep choosing how we are living. The true measure of a man is the degree to which he has managed to subjugate his ego. Most channels on the internet make up quotes and attribute them to the wrong people, and that honestly annoys us. Here on Deep Quotes, we do the opposite. We carefully share only real quotes, so you can trust what you hear. No fake words, no wrong names. Our content is organized into different series, from scientists and philosophers to business titans, and much more. We also create multi-part series focused on one individual, like Einstein, Leo Tolstoy, and many others. You can find links to all our series in the description. And don't forget to subscribe. Your support motivates us to create more meaningful videos for you. Thank you for watching Deep Quotes.